Okay, question 23. What's 35% of 1,500? Now, we're going to discuss two different methods for this. So we'll call this one's going to be method B, and we're going to have method A over here. Now, it's a good idea to know which method to use in which case. Now, if it's a percentage that ends in like a 5%, like 35%, or ends in a 0, like 30%, a good method to use is the one where you find 10% first. Now, I always say 10% is a bit like a master key that unlocks other doors. So if you double 10%, it would unlock the door of 20%. If you triple 10%, it would unlock the door of 30%. If you times 10% by 6, it would unlock the door of 60%. If you half 10%, it would unlock the door of 5%. So you can do a lot with 10%. So 10% of 1,500, you divide that by 10, which is going to be not the 0 off, 150. So 10% is going to be 150. Now we build that back up. So we need to get back up to 35%. So you would times by 3 first. That would take you straight to 30%, which means you times this by 3. 3 nothings are nothing. 3 fives are 15. 3 ones are 3 plus 1 is 4. So we're basically saying that 30% is 450, but we need an extra 5%. So 5, again, we should go back to the master key idea. If we're 10% is 150, 5% is going to be half of that. Half of 10 is 5, so half of 150 is 75. So on top of this 30%, we need to add on the extra 5. So the extra 5% is going to take us to 35%. So we're adding on the extra 75 to this. So add on the extra 75, and we'll get our final answer. So we don't need that 1 there. That was just a carry digit. So nothing and 5 is 5. 5 and 7 is 12. 2 in, carry the 1, and 4 and 1 is 5. So the final answer is that 35% is 525. Now, we did say that there was another method, and I would say use the other method. The other method works for anything. You just do a magic 0, but there's an extra step at the end. So I'll tell you what that extra step is at the end. So if you just times the two numbers together, so 5 lots of nothing is nothing, 5 nothings are nothing, 5 fives are 25, 5 in, carry the 2, 5 ones are 5 plus 2 is 7. Now we are going to end up with this same answer, by the way, of 525, which seems difficult to understand at the moment because we're already on 7,500, but you'll see where we go with this in a minute. So cross out the carry digit because we don't need it again. Now we're timesing by this 3, which doesn't mean 3, it means 30. So you put your magic 0 in, and then you times everything by 3. So 3 nothings are nothing, 3 nothings are nothing, 3 fives are 15, 5 in, carry the 1, 3 ones are 3, plus 1 is 4. Scribble out the carry digit. Now then, what we've got to do next is add it all together. So nothing add nothing is nothing, nothing add nothing is nothing, 5 add nothing is 5, 7 add 5 is 12, put the 2 in, carry the 1, 4 and 1 is 5. Now, you might notice something, that we've got 525 in this answer, and we've also got 525 in this answer. But how come we've got these extra 2 zeros? Well, what's going on is this. 35%, when you're timesing by 35, you're not actually finding 35%, because 35% as a decimal is 0.35, and that's really important. So what we actually should have been doing is not timesing by 35, but timesing by 0.35. Now, you can do that real easily by timesing by 35, but then going back to the question and sticking a 0 point in front of it like that. But if you're sticking your 0 point in front of it like that, then that means down this line here, we've got to put decimal points all the way down. And then that means you're going to end up with a decimal point in your answer, and 525.00 is exactly the same as 525, which is what we got using the other method. So whichever method you use, you're going to get 525.